My name is Rachel Clark. My family of 6 are victims of Stoddard County, Missouri, DCS. Case numbers are 24SD-JU0083 through 80, and case number 24SD-CR00398-01. Our children were taken on April 24th of 2024, the night after my daughter had a very traumatic seizure. It didn't require her going to the ER, and that's according to her action plan. We called the school the next morning. They're the ones who told us if she didn't have a fever, go ahead and send her in. They apparently ended up calling the hotline without our knowledge. We had no idea that our 2 older kids were put into foster care at 9 a.m. until about 3:30 in the afternoon, when DCS and Advance Police and Stoddard County Detective John Atkinson came by to take our 2 younger children. Jesse McElrath was one of the Advance officers, so was Donnie Bonsack. Jesse has witnessed our daughter's seizures and vouched to Detective Atkinson. You could tell that neither one of them felt comfortable being there, but they were following orders by the Sheriff's Department. They did not have a warrant, none of them. The only thing they had was a pink slip of paper that said bruising on my daughters, and then my 3 sons only said bruising on sibling. The next day at court, Judge Joe Satterfield, his ruling was, even though I don't feel these children are in any harm or any danger in their home or by their parents, I'm putting them in protective custody because I feel Amelia may have access to better medical care in state custody because we can jump weight lines. We're doing you a favor. My daughter had been diagnosed with epilepsy for about 2 years. I wasn't happy with her current neurologist and already had an appointment set up for her on May 10th with Dr. Mary Bertrand. DCS canceled that appointment and had her go to a different doctor. They kept my kids in a group home and a foster home for 12 days before taking them to my mom. They claimed they did that because the forensic interview hadn't been completed, even though MJJA says that that wasn't needed for placement or visitation. And that was the same thing they gave for why they wouldn't let my oldest son be part of our first visit. They violated a good cause order on my oldest son. They removed us from our children's HIPAA without us ever being TPR'd. We had made concerns to them about the fact that we had noticed our younger son, who was 2 at the time, it seemed like he had possibly been sexually assaulted while he was in the group home. Later on, after they were gone from the group home, we got a bill in the mail showing that he had had x-rays done 3 days before going to my mom. At what ended up being our final FST meeting on November 13th, I finally got them to look at that bill, and they tried to say that they had no idea that they had done x-rays on my son when they would have been the people who had took my son. It was the very next morning that they filed termination of jurisdiction. Our JO was Tanya Causey, caseworker was Amanda Robinson, supervisor was Stephanie Rogers. Amanda Ellis had submitted our names to the CANRB, who they went through with a fraudulent hearing on March 26th of 2025, 4 months after our termination of jurisdiction had taken place. They were going off of a regulation that actually only applies to active and open cases, trying to claim that it was legal for them to do it, and we have no idea what the results were. The criminal case is still ongoing, to the point where even though our children have been home longer than what they were gone, we haven't been able to heal. We haven't been able to move on. It has been a nightmare. We had filed a citizen's complaint against Detective Atkinson on May 20th. It was 11 days later he filed the false charges on my husband out of retaliation with malicious intent. My husband was in jail for 15 days before he saw a judge on June 14th after being arrested without a warrant on May 31st. Jesse McElrath was the arresting officer. He himself has wanted to subpoena, and I have messages back and forth from me and him. The lawyer that we had paid, Brandon Cooper, collected $3,500 on June 3rd to represent the DCS case and the criminal charge. He never entered anything in on our behalf. He wouldn't communicate with us, and we have messages showing that. He withdrew on my husband's case on March 24th of this year. They have flat out said that they don't want to dismiss the charges because they know that we intend to sue. The judge on my husband's criminal case is Robert Mayer. He, Tanya Causey, and Judge Satterfield are all advisory board members of the group home that our children were in. In the time they were in foster care, they also had our daughter in the hospital twice within those 12 days. They risked our children's lives. They tore apart our family out of absolutely nothing. We have no criminal charges. In the past, we have never had an open case with DCS. Our daughter has had a documented case of epilepsy. This was simple and clear medical kidnapping. They never even brought up any of our 3 sons at court whatsoever. They had no reason for taking them. I was never charged with anything. They know that they have done wrong. That is why they are silencing us so hard. And I know I'm not alone in feeling that way. Daryl Missy, the director of DCS, he resigned within a week of our children coming home on October 11th. The sheriff of our county was fined for withholding body cam footage from prior case. They're currently withholding body cam footage from in our home without a warrant, April 24th and 29th of last year. And it's not okay. It's not right. We definitely demand justice.